Good day, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Dr. Samuel Osifo. I'm a lecturer in University of Benin. I'm here to facilitate the course BUZZ 111, which is Introduction to Business. We are going to be looking at the nature and concept of business in this study session. The learning outcome of this course include definition and the correct use of keywords. We are going to be looking at the nature of business. We're going to be looking at the aim of business. We're going to be distinguishing between expansion and growth in business. We're also going to be distinguishing between employee, customer, and owner satisfaction. These are the things you are supposed to understand from this class. The concept of business arises out of a very basic and obvious fact that everybody in the world today needs something and everybody has something to offer. This need varies from the need for food, for the need for various forms of satisfaction, and everyone has something to offer. Because of this, one has to do some level of exchange, either by barter or exchange of your service for something. So this term led to business, whereby we engage in activities that brings revenue, income that leads to profit. This study session is intended to give you an overview of the various concepts and nature of business. It is anticipated to expose you to the various views about business and the purpose of business. Man, as a social being, often organizes themselves into various groups, and the institution meant to address these needs that we talked about. Government and non-governmental institutions, profit or non-profit oriented organizations, also have different things that they do in order to ensure that there is satisfaction within the business environment. Some government-owned institutions may be profit-oriented, while others may not be profit-oriented. Like you look at the NNPC, which is the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, Nigerian Railway Corporation, Nigerian Airports Authority. These are organizations owned by government, and they assist in adding value. They are also some others are non-profit, such as the Nigerian University Commission (NUC), various federal educational institutions, the Nigerian Police Force, the Air Force. These are non-profit organizations set up by government. You ask, what are the aims of business? As you could see from here, that the aims of business are diverse, from avenue for innovation, bringing about expansion and growth, customer satisfaction, employee satisfaction, ownership satisfaction, owner satisfaction, and other main things. But this must be done within the primary goal of making profit and ensuring that social standards and social ethics are put in place. So let's look at avenue for innovation. More often, businesses have various avenues where they provide some level of innovation to our lives. These innovations helps in bringing novel ideas, products, services that helps to satisfy needs and wants in our society. Many talents come to play here, and people use these innovative talents in providing value to other persons. These value end up bringing profit for the owners, because prototypes are designed, and these prototypes are now mass produced to produce other goods and services that will satisfy the needs of people. These innovations often ends up creating investment that grows various companies and create earning and create some level of sustainability for our society. So businesses create several innovative moves for we. In business, one of the main goals of business is expansion and growth. Nobody wants to have a baby that is not growing. But When your business is growing, when your baby is growing, it creates more viability for you. And in business, during business, you have sometimes where there's peak or when there is bear. That is when there's a boom or when there's a lull. So as a business owner, you often try to save money when there are peaks and plow those monies to when the business is not going too well. So these now turn into profit. And this profit are used to expand the business, whereby you create more businesses, whereby you create more avenue for growth of the business. And when the business grow, it can employ more persons, it can expand into new areas, and then make more money for the owners. We talk about customer satisfaction, which is another very good idea behind businesses. Customer satisfaction is key in the sense that a satisfied customer will come to you to buy again and again. Therefore, other than making profit, you must ensure that when you are making profit in business, it must be at the point where customers are satisfied, therefore, so that there will be repeat patronage in your business. Wherever there are no repeat patronage, the business may not grow much. So in business, one of the main things is to ensure that your customers are satisfied, and when they are satisfied, they will come back to buy and buy again. That's why we say in business that the customer is king, because the customer is the reason why the business exists. If the customer is not there, the business dies. Therefore, it's the main objective of the business to ensure that the customers are satisfied when they do business with them. Employee satisfaction is another key thing that is important in business, because an employee comes to your organization to work, to earn a living. If this employee comes to your organization to work, to earn a living, you must ensure that the employee is satisfied, because a satisfied employee is one who will give his best to your organization. And giving his best to your organization will ensure that the organization meets its goal and objective. Because initially the employee comes to the organization not to work to make the organization grow, but to earn a living. There's no business that has no employee. Even if you are a sole proprietor, you have one employee. Therefore, every business requires people to work in it. And these people who are working in this business must be satisfied. And when these people are satisfied, they can give their all and they can help you meet the goal of the business. And when they now meet the goal of the business, there will be more profit for the owners of the business. And that takes us to owner satisfaction. Owner satisfaction is key because every business is owned by people. And if businesses are owned by people, in a large organization, they are owned by shareholders. These shareholders who have invested their capital into these businesses will want return for their funds. Because they want return for their funds, the business has to ensure that these persons are okay. The managers in the business are those who are responsible to ensure that the return for investment is given to them. The owners are people who are responsible for this capital that are brought in. Whenever they are shortfall, they may not be happy. Therefore, the managers of the business must ensure that the owners of these various business are happy doing the business, because it's when the business is alive that it continues. Then all businesses must work within the social sphere. That is, the businesses are working in an environment where people are happy with the system. When we talk about the social sphere, businesses must give back to the environment which they are in. Because some businesses in their attempt to make money may create activities that disrupt the environment, either in terms of noise, either in terms of pollution, and these things are not socially wanted. Every business must ensure that they do things without creating problem for the system. By so doing, such businesses will be contributing to the corporate social responsibility of the environment by giving some things back to the people. They could be by providing some level of amenity, like a borehole or rural electrification, or taking care of some other critical needs of the environment or of the stakeholders. In this session, we try to tell you what businesses are all about. We try to ensure that you understand that the main goal of business is profit generation, because profit must be made in a legal means. It must be made within the ethical boundaries. Otherwise, the business may not be societally acceptable. Business is any lawful activity that we will engage in the production of goods and services, and that ensures that people are satisfied while making a profit. There are two main criteria that you look at when you are doing business. One of them is the goal is profit, while the other one is that the business must be seen as legally acceptable by the society where the business is located. There are other secondary goals, motives that people have when going into business. It could include innovation, expansion, growth, satisfaction of customers, satisfaction of owners, employers, or other stakeholders. But we must understand that the core of doing business is to make profit. We would like to look at some assessment questions which I believe will help you in understanding what you have been taught. One of them is that you look at these questions. You can study with your classmates. After reading it, you can compare the questions with what you have read or your study notes. In answering this question in your study diary, you can discuss it with your tutor, with me, or with your other classmates. Check your answers and see how these questions go with you. Now let's look at the questions. 1. Explain the term business. Try to give 2 examples of profit-oriented business and non-profit-oriented business organization. Another thing you can do again in the second question is highlight the aim of business and explain any 2 of them.